What is going on, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and we are less than one day away, my fellow agents, from the final search and rescue targets becoming available in Year 5 Season 1, which means we are starting to head down the home stretch towards Year 5 Season 2, which we all know is going to reintroduce incursions into the game, which will hopefully bring a lot of players back. So in today's video, like I do every Monday, I'd like to take a few moments, talk about what we're going to see in the game in the upcoming weeks, and more importantly, answer some of the questions you've sent the channel. Now, if you're new here, you can hit that sub or join button. And remember, we are having a giveaway for an Xbox Series S, but I will save those details until the end of the video. The first thing I want to talk about is for those of you that have been playing the global event Polarity Switch. You can see on the screen, as of my recording this video, you have 18 hours and 18 minutes left to spend those stars. Make sure you do not lose them. They will not roll from one event to the next. So consider this your final warning so you do not miss out on anything you have earned so far. Now, as I said a moment ago, we also will see the final search and rescue targets become available, and they are Mitchell Billings. Once you rescue him, you will then be able to rescue Mari Singh. Both of those targets will become available tomorrow and to finish out the rest of the season. We have the Mitchell League starting next week, and 1 week after that, we have the return of everyone's favorite global event, Golden Bullet. Now, the in-game timer says we have 6 weeks until the end of Season 1, and at this point, we do not have an official start date of Year 5 Season 2, but as always, once we get that information, I will pass it along. I do not want to speculate. I want to make sure I give you the info when the game announces it. Now, hopefully there are no delays, which now brings me to talking about what we should be hearing from the game soon, and that is when the PTS is going to take place. Now, there happens to be one specific question many of you have sent the channel, and that is, will the upcoming incursion include matchmaking right from the start? And the answer should be yes. Now, the reason I say should is even though we have not gotten any information directly from the game as yet, if we go back to the first division, that is a feature they had at the very beginning, and I'm assuming they are going to have it in this one as well. As I said before, once I have any information from the game, I promise to pass it along. Now, the next thing that has to do with incursions is a concern that I know some people in the community have, and that is if you're going to need to be on comms in order to complete the thing. Now, once again, all I can do is base what we saw in the first division, but I know for a fact, as far as my gameplay, I never spoke to an individual when I was doing those things, and yes, it is going to take some coordination. There is going to be a bit of a learning curve. Obviously, when these things come out, you will see a bunch of videos being put together. And as I've said previously, I will be putting out a standalone video this week talking about incursions, so if you happen to have any questions about that game mode, please let me know and I will do my best to answer them in the upcoming video. Moving on, my friends, we are now going to talk about Descent, as I am still receiving questions on a daily basis asking if the game is going to improve the rewards. Now, this is something we've talked about multiple times here, and I sincerely hope the game does take that into consideration, because I think they're missing out on a lot of people playing this thing. I mean, from most people I speak with, and again, I can only give you my opinion and what I hear from people who reach out to this channel, but one of the comments I hear on a very consistent basis is that most people would jump into this game mode if the rewards system was better, because people do not have an issue with the game mode itself. They have an issue with the amount of time that it actually takes to get a decent amount of gear in this game mode, and most people honestly do not have that time to commit to the game. Like I said before, I really hope the game takes certain things into consideration. And as always, my fellow agents, I promise to pass along any information as soon as I have it. Now, the last thing I'd like to talk about today has to do with what I'm doing in the game right now. Now, the only thing I'm personally focused on is dotting the I's and crossing the T's on a few builds that I want to get to a much better place before we have incursions, because again, we do not know what to expect when we jump into that mode. So I want to make sure I have every type of build ready. I want a skill build, a tank build, a DPS build, a hybrid build, a Scorpio build. You know that was going to be dropped in there. But the point is, I'm using this time to make sure that when we finally see this new content, I have every type of build at my disposal. That way I am good to go on day one. Now, in the video description down below, I'm going to leave you a few links, and this is really for those of you out there who are just returning to the game, or even those of you who are brand new. A few tips on how to farm for exotics, the best ways to get a ton of gear in a short amount of time. And as always, if you happen to have any other questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know. I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. And as I start to wrap this video up, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible support of this channel, and I want to make sure I make something clear. Over the last month, it's been pretty hectic for me. Everything is good, but I have not been able to devote the amount of time that I typically would like to not only my channel, but to the Division 2 franchise as well. And some of you have been concerned, am I going to stop playing the game? And I cannot make this clear enough. The answer is No, I am never going to stop playing this game, in my opinion. And this is something I said way back when we had the timeline for year 5, is that I really thought everything in this game was going to really start to kick off with year 5 season 2, because incursions are going to bring a lot of people back to this game, and that is when I personally think we're going to see that momentum really kick in, getting us to year 5 season 3 and then year 5 season 4. And once we get to season 4, we know we're getting new story DLC, which once again is something that is going to bring a ton of people back to this game. Now, I'm sure you've noticed at this channel my videos have been a little bit shorter. They have also been a little less frequent, but that is simply because there's nothing really new to talk about in the game right now. But I will never stop bringing you videos on this game. Obviously, you're going to see build videos. Those will never stop. And I also promise to continue to bring you farming videos, beginner's guides, things like that. I am going to be covering other games here at the channel, but that is not going to stop me covering this game, because the day I stop making videos for The Division 2 is the day that I truly stop enjoying this game, and I can't ever imagine that happening. Yes, certain days I don't feel like playing, of course, but on the other days, no matter what I'm doing, I'm like, I need to farm for this piece of gear. I want to play this mission. I want to clear this mission faster. I want to help other people get things. I mean, no matter what, the one thing I hear, and this is constant not only in my head, but also from many of you out there, is that no matter what game I play, it's just not The Division. They have something amazing here. Again, to be clear, I'm not going anywhere, and I sincerely hope you stick around as well. That is going to do it for this video, my friends. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, we are currently having a giveaway for an Xbox Series S. We're giving away 2 of them, and all you need to do to enter is either subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winners will be announced October 1st of this year. On that note, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of gameplay footage, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
That should be the source of the leak. Now we just need to seal those tanks.
High-risk target approaching. Minutes to lockdown.
Great work. Now just seal that bunker and stop exposing your team to not so low doses of radiation.
Radiation detected at acceptable level. Target detected. Restore hive detected.
Good work, Agent. You saved the plant. Move to extraction point. Helo is ready when you are. Shoot a flare to signal Taurus.
Hostile restore hive detected.